Anora is a 2024 American comedy drama film written, directed, produced and edited by Sean Baker. It stars Mikey Madison as Anora-Review, a stripper from New York who marries the wealthy son of a Russian oligarch, played by Eydelshteyn. The supporting cast includes Yura Borisov, Karren Karagulian and Aleksei Serebryakov. Anora premiered at the 77th Cannes Film Festival on May 21, 2024, where it received critical acclaim and won the Palme d'Or. It was released theatrically on October 18, 2024 by Neon. The film would go on to gross $51.9 million worldwide against a $6 million budget, making it Baker's highest-grossing film. Anora would go on to receive numerous accolades. The film was named one of the top 10 films of 2024 by the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute. It took home the most awards at the 97th Academy Awards, winning 5 Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress for Madison, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing, only losing one of its nominations. It additionally won the Best Actress for Madison and Best Casting for Baker and Samantha Kwan at the 78th British Academy Film Awards. Some trivia notes. Director Sean Baker said Anora was inspired by a story from a friend about a Russian-American newlywed kidnapped for collateral. He was also inspired by his work in 2000 and 2001 when he edited wedding videos, including ones of Russian-Americans in New York. Baker said his intentions were towards telling human stories that are hopefully universal. It's helping remove the stigma that many apply to sex work that always has been applied to this livelihood. Baker hired Andrea Wehern, a Canadian writer and actress known for her 2018 memoir Modern Whore, about her prior time as a sex worker, as a creative consultant on the film. Baker cast Mikey Madison after seeing her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, released in 2019, and Scream, released in 2022. He hired Madison without an audition. Madison learned Russian, visited strip clubs, and studied the Brooklyn accent to prepare. Although some media outlets incorrectly reported that Anora-Review was Uzbek American, Baker would go on to say that Anora has Russian heritage and is most likely from one of the post-Soviet countries. Principal photography took place starting in February 2023 in Brooklyn. Anora was filmed over 37 days, with a 25-minute home invasion scene taking 10 of those days. The film's cinematography was inspired by the 1970s crime dramas set in New York, including The French Connection and The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. To learn more about the area that they were filming, Baker and Mikey Madison temporarily moved to southern Brooklyn during pre-production. At a press conference at the Cannes Film Festival, Madison said that Baker and producer Samantha Kwan, Baker's wife, would act out different sex positions to demonstrate what they wanted the actors to do on screen. Madison was offered an intimacy coordinator, but said, "As I'd already created a really comfortable relationship with both of them for about a year, I felt that it would be where I was most comfortable with, and it ended up working so perfectly." The soundtrack includes Robert Schultz's rework of A Greatest Day by Take That, All the Things She Said by Tattoo. Madison also shared that her friend created a stripper playlist for her to get into character, including tracks from Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Slater. Anora would receive praise from sex workers for its depiction of the profession, which they described as a step forward from films of the past that tended to portray sex work as a social transgression worthy of condemnation. Others felt the film reverted to regressive stereotypes about sex workers as downtrodden in need of saving. A UK-based sex worker commented that the film rehashes the traumatized vulnerable sex worker trope, which we've seen 1,000 times before. Marla Cruz opinioned that little is revealed about Annie's life outside of sex work, and that the exploration of the boundary between Annie the person and Annie the worker is absent. In a piece for Slate, Rysden Roberts compared the character of Annie to Vivian Ward in Pretty Woman, writing the former is not desperate or trafficked waif, nor is she a hooker with a heart of gold. She did, however, critique the ending, writing that for a real-life sex worker, the true goal is not to be saved by a man, it's about survival. She added that rather than representing the knights in shining armor archetype, clients are a means to an end. Money can't break your heart. Now, Anora is a film that will test your patience, challenge your expectations, and perhaps leave you feeling emotionally exhausted. But despite its demanding nature, it is a cinematic experience that is undeniably worth the effort. Sean Baker's film immerses its audiences in a hauntingly intricate world, weaving together powerful themes and unforgettable performances. From the outset, Anora grabs and holds its viewers, pulling them into this emotional charged narrative that refuses to let go. You can see this was a personal film for Sean Baker, as he really adds a lot of his own personal touches to the project. This isn't a film for the faint of heart. Some of the sexual scenes can be quite explicit, and the subject matter as a whole can be controversial to some. One thing, though, that really stands out is the performances, particularly here from lead actress Mikey Madison. She's absolutely extraordinary here, and her portrayal of the character grappling with internal and external conflict is raw, vulnerable, and profoundly affecting. For me, it is Madison alone who really pulls this film together, but I must compliment the likes of Mark Eydelshteyn, who plays Ivan, the wealthy son of the Russian oligarch. I feel in many ways his performance has been seemingly overlooked, but I think he's absolutely stunning. As is Yura Borisov, he has Igor, the Russian henchman hired by Taras to look after Vanya. It's a subtle performance, very nuanced and emotional, yet somehow I just don't believe he deserved an Oscar nomination for it. Look, overall, this is a fantastically made film. Whether it deserves Best Picture of the Year or not, well, that's for you to decide. I personally feel maybe it wasn't the greatest film of 2024, as the Oscars will have you believe, but it is a superb piece of filmmaking, and definitely will be very memorable. Mikey Madison, like I said, is absolutely superb, and the personal touch and dedication put forth here by director, editor, writer, and producer Sean Baker is well undeniable. While seen as controversial by some, and for others highlighting an industry that is often overlooked and misunderstood, Anora is a powerful piece of filmmaking that will long be remembered. Anora gets a 9 out of 10.